you wake up, open your banking app, and just laugh? Not like a real laugh, like that desperate, silent kind where you blow air out your nose and go, yeah, we're doomed. That was me last week. Rent's due, gas tank empty, my credit card's one bad decision away from bursting into flames, and somehow my brain still says, hey man, let's go get coffee! Because apparently, caffeine is the only thing keeping me tethered to civilization. So I walk into this little coffee shop near my apartment in LA. You know the type. Plants hanging from the ceiling, baristas with ironic tattoos, and a sign that says, we roast ethically. Yeah, ethically. But they bill you like it's a ransom demand. I walk up to the counter, all confident, all adult. Hi, can I get a medium oat milk latte, please? The barista taps something on the screen and goes, that'll be $6.25. $6.25. I blinked like I just got hit with a plot twist. I said, sorry, what? He goes, $6.25. I said, dollars? He nods, and I swear to God, I almost whispered, do you take emotional collateral? Because I remember when coffee used to be $3. You could get a latte, feel fancy, and still have money left for lunch. Now it feels like buying coffee is an act of financial bravery. I'm standing there debating whether I need caffeine or dignity more. And then my Taurus brain kicks in. This little voice that says, you can't look broke. Not in public. Hold the line. So I hand over my card like a soldier going to war. Tap. That sound hurt. That was the sound of my ancestors whispering, we worked the land for this? He hands me the cup like he's giving me communion. I take one sip and think, this better change my fucking life. At $6.25, I should feel caffeine and enlightenment. At this price, this latte should whisper affirmations to me. You're doing your best, Jason. The universe sees your effort. But no, it just tasted like warm capitalism. I step outside, look at the cup, and realize this is not a drink. It's a performance. I'm holding a $6.25 permission slip to exist in society. Because if I show up to work without it, everyone's like, whoa, rough morning. Yeah, rough economy, Janet. I sit on the curb, sipping slowly, pretending it's not pain in liquid form. I look around. Everyone else is doing the same thing. A whole line of people paying for the illusion of control. There's a girl in yoga pants next to me scrolling Zillow listings like she's window shopping trauma. A dude in a Patagonia fleece holding a finance bro starter pack latte talking to his friend about diversifying assets. Bro, your asset is oat milk. Relax. You know what inflation really is? It's emotional gaslighting. Everything costs more, but everyone pretends it's normal. Like we're all in a toxic relationship with the economy. It keeps hurting us and we keep saying, no, it's okay, it's just going through a phase. Everywhere you look, prices have lost their damn minds. Eggs are $7. Rent's the new student loan. Avocados? Don't even ask. I saw a candle for $60 the other day. $60 for something that literally burns out faster than my attention span. I told the cashier, you're selling anxiety in wax form. She said, it's lavender scented. I said, so is my regret. And being a Taurus makes this worse, man. We're wired for stability, comfort, aesthetics. We want life to feel like a Pinterest board with health insurance. We crave nice things, but we also hate wasting money. So inflation basically threw us into an existential chokehold. I'm the guy who will spend 3 hours comparing oat milk brands to save 50 cents and then impulsively drop $5,000 on a couch because it'll last forever. Spoiler alert, it won't. But my guilt will. Every Taurus is living in this constant loop of, I deserve nice things, but I shouldn't spend money. But life's short. But rent exists, whimpering. Maybe I'll just cry and buy something small. That's how you end up holding a $6 latte and calling it emotional self-care. My neighbor caught me one morning holding that latte and said, you know you could save like $1,000 a year if you made it at home. I said, yeah, and I could save even more if I stopped waking up. He didn't laugh. He just nodded like, yeah, fair. That's the thing. Everyone's coping differently. Some people started day trading. Others are doing yoga. And me? I just started talking to my fridge like it's a roommate. Every time I open it, I'm like, damn, you still empty? And it's like, bro, you still broke? Inflation's got us all developing main character syndrome. We're making survival feel cinematic. We're out here lighting candles like, this is self-love. But really, it's just the cheaper alternative to therapy. You ever scroll Instagram and see those influencers being like, financial peace is a mindset? Yeah, so is denial, babe. They post videos like, I cut my spending by making my own soap. Cool. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out how to make rent without selling organs. They call it budgeting. I call it financial gaslighting. The truth is, inflation isn't killing us with numbers. It's killing us with shame. We used to measure success by what we had. Now we measure it by how well we pretend we're okay. We don't even flex luxury anymore. We flex stability. Still in the same apartment since 2020. Still paying my bills on time. Still have Wi-Fi. That's the new American dream, baby. You know how people used to say, I bought a house. Now they're like, I bought groceries. And we all clap like, oh my God, congrats. It's wild, man. We've romanticized survival. We're turning anxiety into an aesthetic. Minimalism? Please, that's just broke with good lighting. We don't live simple lives. We live expensive poverty with vibes. I was at my friend's place the other day. She had 2 forks, 1 cup, and a plant named Hope. I said, this is cozy. She said, it's minimalism. No, it's called eviction chic. But here's the real kicker. We're all pretending we've got this under control. We talk about financial literacy like it's Hogwarts magic. Nobody's literate. We're all winging it. You ever see someone at Whole Foods doing math on their phone? That's modern survival right there. Trying to figure out if your self-respect is worth the extra $3 for organic spinach. And you know what? I still buy it because I can't let kale win. Here's what I think. Inflation isn't the problem, it's the mirror. It's showing us how fragile our sense of enough really is. We've built our identities around comfort, and now that comfort's a moving target. We keep chasing it, thinking it'll make us feel safe. But safety isn't for sale anymore. It's a subscription plan that renews every month with anxiety. So yeah, I still buy that $6 latte. Not because I can afford it, but because it's symbolic. It's me saying, you can take my savings, but you will not take my vibe. That latte is my last line of defense between managing and melting down. It's not caffeine, it's placebo therapy. Every sip says, maybe I don't have my life together, but I've got good taste in failure. And that's the most Taurus thing ever. Sometimes I think about what luxury even means now. It's not handbags or cars or fancy trips. Luxury is waking up and not immediately panicking. It's being able to breathe without checking your notifications. It's buying something without guilt. It's the freedom to not think about money for 5 damn minutes. You can't put that on Afterpay. You can't subscribe to that. You can only feel it. And that's the hardest thing to afford right now. So if you see me walking down Sunset Boulevard holding my overpriced coffee, don't judge me. Know that it's not about caffeine. It's about dignity. That cup is my emotional support animal. It's $6.25 of therapy I can hold in my hand. And you know what? It works. Because when the world's falling apart, sometimes you just need one small thing that says, I still belong here. So yeah, inflation's wild. But you know what's wilder? That we're all still laughing. We're broke, caffeinated, traumatized, and somehow still showing up to brunch like, Yeah, let's split the bill evenly. That's hope right there. That's humanity. We're not thriving. We're performing survival. But damn, we make it look good. So raise your cup, my fellow Tauruses, my fellow survivors. This one's for everyone trying to stay calm while the economy plays Jenga with our lives. May your coffee stay hot, your rent stay somehow payable, and your peace stay non-refundable.